Hey book nerds, I'm Travis, and this is Travis Reads Books. Today I'm going to be reviewing Z for Zachariah by Robert C. O'Brien. This is apparently a book of some renown, though honestly I had never heard about it until I found it in a thrift shop the other day. This was a really enjoyable novel. I like my YA dark, and this book delivers dark. Set in post-World War III America, Anne is one of the last human survivors on Earth, living in a valley that has miraculously escaped the bombings and the subsequent radioactive fallout. She leads a simple, solitary life on her family's farm until a second survivor arrives and makes things very complicated. I don't want to discuss the specific events that play out, but I will say it is all very believable, and it is very, very dark. Anne is a great character. She's clever and competent, as one would have to be to survive in the post-apocalypse. But she isn't superhuman. She can survive on her own without help from anyone else, which is amazing. But she can't kill giant radioactive monster worms with a single precision shot from her bow and arrow. Though to be clear, there are no giant radiation monster worms in the book. She's also fallible. She makes mistakes. And every mistake you make is a dire one when you're dealing with the apocalypse. She's also very human in her interactions with John, the second survivor. She regards his arrival as a danger to her safety, but perhaps more importantly, a salvation to her loneliness. This is Zavita pumpkin spice today. I love pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice anything. Anything. I can't talk much about the story without giving things away, but it is a fascinating examination of human nature and the need for companionship. Now, I'm very critical of endings. I almost always hate the endings of books. It's very rare that I'll find one that I think actually fits the book's themes and effectively concludes the story. But Z for Zachariah is one of those books that does. It delivers an emotional gut punch of an ending. One that fits with the story and left me feeling satisfied with how it all played out. After I finished the book, I read the afterword and found out two things which surprised me. The first thing that surprised me was that the book was written in the 70s. There was literally nothing in the story or the writing that led me to believe the book hadn't been written in the last couple of years. I suppose that speaks to the timeliness of the story and its themes. In retrospect, I guess there was no mention of cell phones or the internet, but being set post-World War III, none of that stuff would have worked anyway, so their absence never struck me as odd. Second thing that surprised me was that the author, whose real name was Robert Conley, died before the book was completed, and the book was finished by his wife and daughter. What's really surprising about that is that the book was of uniform quality. There was never a chapter or a page where I thought, this feels like it was written by someone else. Without having been told, I never would have guessed that Robert Conley hadn't actually written the entire book himself. There's a recently made film adaptation of Z for Zachariah starring Margot Robbie. It's an excellent movie, very dark and haunting in its own way, but it has almost nothing to do with the book. Other than character names and the setting, the movie takes very little from the novel, telling a completely different story, albeit an engaging one in its own right. So that's what I thought of Z for Zachariah. Definitely a book I would recommend for anyone who likes dark YA or dystopian futures. If you like this review, give it a like. If you have any suggestions for books you'd like me to review in the future, put them in the comments down below. Be sure and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any upcoming videos. You can find me on Twitter at TravisReads, and you can follow me on Instagram at TravisWest, where I post all kinds of pictures of fun toys and Funko Pops. Thank you all for watching. Love and respect. I'll see you next time.